opponent under more pressure.
感谢支持尚德路的好物。比赛未结束，就向观众索要掌声。你见过几个这样的？为了救球，差点劈叉，嚣张怒吼，必不可少的霸王拧。
Oh, what a return of serve!
这具备了极强的心理威慑，还有经典评论，充满魅力，性格纯明，
And enigmatic at the same time.
对挡板敬畏。
Very respectful to the barriers.
虽说我已做过，但那期画质不高，讲解较为平淡，视频还被迫分段，略有遗憾。本期有超高画质，着重添加 BBC 的评论，再结合张继科在直播时的回忆。
我赢郑荣直是反手吗？你再看看去，反手。
制作了时长超45分钟的视频，请再慢慢欣赏这一场比赛，可好？
Cup World Championships.
张继科霸气十足，冠军奖台上亲吻了一口，
为大赛而生。
漂亮！
每一届比赛都要把握机会。
现在张继科展开了中国的国旗。
They've nothing to lose.
No, and Ma Long, who won the singles gold, of course, and Zhang Zika, who won the silver. That was such a game of table tennis. Just a pleasure to sit and watch.
I think it took table tennis to a new level in terms of how fast the ball was travelling, how early they were taking the ball during the rally, and that's what China have created. They're playing a slightly different level, I think, than everybody else, and it's all about how early they take it, how hard they hit it. There we have Jung Young-sik, Jo Si-hook, a defensive player who has world-class attacking skills as well, and finally Lee Sang-soo.
Look at their results. The mind games start, you think, well, I'm never going to beat them. But the beauty of this competition is that anything can happen. And if nothing else, if it is a predictable victory, you can sit back and enjoy some astounding table tennis. You won't get much better than the final stages of this competition. We saw it in the singles.
Which is a world champion and an Olympic champion. So the whole lineup is particularly impressive. I have to say that if I'm a bit nervous about saying that there's an Achilles heel in the China team, Zhang Jike can be an absolutely amazing player. He's won the World Championship twice, the Olympics once, but he can also let his form drop a little bit. He's the one of the top Chinese who on his day can beat anybody, including all the Chinese. But if he's just slightly off, then he's the one who could drop a game. So if you said to me now the score in this semi-final will be 3-1 to China, then I'd have to back Zhang Jike as being the one to drop a game. So
which is odd when you think that he got the silver here, Olympic champion in London, but form does sort of go up and down, doesn't it?
Yeah, he has lost 3 or 4 games to European players and other players from Asia that were surprises, whereas none of the Chinese tend to dominate completely.
This is Zhang Jike, world ranked number 4, shake hand attack. As we mentioned, silver here, gold in London in the singles, and named after Zico, the footballer, and a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo. And Jung Young-sik, the 24-year-old, world ranked 10. Hold on to your hats. This is the first match in this semi-final in the men's team table tennis competition.
Backhand to backhand on the diagonal. Zhang Jike comes out on top. He arrives here. So Zhang Jike arrived in good form.
And it's interesting, isn't it? You very often do see the players just getting that backhand going, looking to perhaps just test each other out, see who's strongest, see who can put the marker down first. He's very touchy-feely with his bat, isn't he? He's always looking at it, adjusting it, stroking it. Saw him actually pushing it very hard on the table. I don't know if that's just a tradition of his or something he feels he needs to do.
When the players adhere, attach the sponging rubber to the blade, sometimes it can come a little bit, so they push down to make sure it's
just making sure
everything's stuck, yeah. And sometimes it then becomes a habit.
Janjika with the serve as well. Got down, trying to put a lot of topspin on.
Came across to the forehand side, the backhand topspin technique that's been developed in recent years. Players coming across to the forehand to play the backhand. 15 years ago, you just simply wouldn't have seen that happen. But it's been developed, and of course, when you think about it, you can get more wrist into the shot with the backhand side from the forehand side, and they can get side spin on the ball. Jung Young-sik there did well, serve in with the forehand topspin. That's what he's got to do. He's nothing to lose. Serve, keep the serve tight, follow in with a good topspin. He was assisted by the net cord. Put up his hand, acknowledged his good luck. This time backhand to backhand again, and it is Jung Young-sik who comes out on top.
It's going to be tight.
In fairness, he lost in the fourth round of the individual event here, 4-2. To Ma Long, the winner.
Yeah.
So it's a good performance by Jung Young-sik. And there we have again, he's just making sure that rubber's stuck on his bat.
That serve is a very intricate affair, isn't it?
They call it the reverse action. The bat starts close to the body and then goes away from the body. So it's putting side spin on the ball and then sometimes under, sometimes around the top. So you get a combination of side spin, top spin, side spin, back spin, all depending on your point of contact. See, top spin on that service then. He went across the back, maybe slightly up the ball. So the side spin and top spin, and Jung Young-sik didn't read the spin and off the end of the table.
You'll see it as the opponent will see it very late as well.
It's almost like the hand of a magician. It's going so fast and it's so difficult to see that point of contact.
Janjika being very respectful to the barriers, unlike a few years ago when he was so excited at winning a World Cup event. He kicked the barriers, which is fine, except that he lost all his prize money. It was very apologetic. It was the heat of the moment, the excitement. He's looking pretty good here at the moment.
It's a good forehand from the backhand side. He stepped round quite a long ways outside the side of the table.
Oh. Best point of the match so far.
The Korean team there in the crowd supporting the Korean ladies team, supporting the men. That's good to see. That's a good topspin down the line from Janjika, but Jung stays at the table, gets out wide to Zhang's forehand, wins the point.
Well, he's starting to dial in now, isn't he?
That was a brilliant point tactically as well for the Republic of Korea. Janjika's coming round the backhand to play his forehand, which he does so well.
Very satisfying point, that one, for the Korean.
And Janjika tries to do the same. And the other thing that does tactically, if you're running around your backhand to play your forehand, and all of a sudden you know the opponent's going to go down the line, you're very nervous about running round to play forehand from the backhand side.
And really let one go, and then it still comes back. Yeah, a rethink perhaps is needed.
Well, there we go, well played. Jung Young-sik, 8-7. Business end now of this first game, and
first time he's been in front.
A nice time to get in front. Business end. And the Chinese bench on their feet. Very impressive bench, as we've already identified. The world and Olympic champion. The coach is a world and Olympic champion. And poor Zhu Xin is only the number 3 in the world.
Oh, he's done it again. He's certainly spreading the play around the table. And his teammates and coach think that was a particularly special point.
Oh, the service wasn't great from Zhang Jike there. It was mid-table. Zhang Jike anticipated exactly where he was going to go. Look at this, he's lined up ready for that forehand. That's a great shot. He's 8-9 down and he comes out with a forehand topspin like that under pressure. The Chinese, as well as being great players, they are mentally tough as well.
Well, someone's going to get a game point, and this is where you do have to be tough. If you're wondering what that the odd noise is, apparently it's pouring outside, which is why we can hear a little bit of extraneous noise. These players won't worry, they're very focused. Oh dear.
That was very fortunate for Zhang Jike. He was away from the table as well. Look how he's dropped away, he scrambles that back, and it just trickles over the net.
Saves it. Jung Sik. There we go. It's best you got to get to.
It's a very good return of serve. He came up the back of the ball, brushed it. The ball fizzing with topspin. See that again. Up the back of the ball he goes. No pace on the ball for return. Again, the net cord, that fast forehand topspin from Zhang Jike was a great shot, but again it hit the net cord. Had it not, Jung Sik could have blocked it down the line. We'll see on the replay. There he goes, watch the net cord. Just clips
对
the
了，
top
最
of
近
the
得
net.
物有新人首单补贴活动，这款入耳式蓝牙耳机到手竟然低至1元，超强续航加上无线降噪，它音质还很高，日常运动游戏都能用。打开下方置顶链接就能领取新人大额优惠券。上面是品牌直发加正品险，再加假1赔3的，还有7天无理由退货。现在下载还能0元抽2888现金或新款 iPhone 17，快去评论区蹲投放。
First game to Jung Sik.
Well, these players are trading game points. We're back to 11 apiece. Couldn't quite get enough topspin on it.
What a good rally though. That was backhand to backhand, very fast. Both players slugging it out. Then they both get in with top spins, forehand top spins, I should say. There's the forehand from Zhang Jike.
And when it goes around the table, each angle goes everywhere, doesn't it? Each sort of part of the table is very pleasing on the eye. And a second game point for Zhang.
Oh, what a flick. The return was only slightly high. It's still fairly tight from Zhang Jike. But Jung Sik, see on the replay, takes the ball top of the bounce. There it goes. What a great flick. And brave as well, into the Zhang Jike forehand.
It's more about the speed.
Game point now for the Republic of Korea.
12 minutes. 12 minutes this first game's been going on. It's important to both these.
Back and down the line. Look at the wry smile on the face of Jung Sik. Just hit the edge of his back. The tactics were excellent. Strong backhand down the line. Unfortunately, the execution not as. Oh my goodness!
Well, you've got to feel for Zhang, because you thought he'd salvage that point with some great defensive work, but Zhang just kept at it.
That backhand from Zhang Jike gets him back in the game, but Jung Sik takes it off the bounce.
I'll see you and I'll raise you. It's to take this first game.
Oh, and the net cord this time favours Jung Young-sik, and he wins the first game 15-13. He enjoyed himself during the men's singles final. He sat there in the crowd. Job well done. Gold and silver for China. Looks like he might have his work cut out this evening.
Well, it's not as if Zhang Zika is not playing well. He is, but there are a few issues. Zhang reading that one down the line twice in that game, and whatever he throws at the Korean athlete seems to come back with interest. Zhang Zika, 28 years of age, 4 years older than Jung Young-sik, and with a much bigger CV, it has to be said. Fourth player to get the Grand Slam, and the quickest as well. It took him, what was it, 445 days. The Olympic Games, the World Cup, the World Championships.
我赢正手只是反手嘛，你再看看去，反手只是配合吓唬人的，是吧？就是我正手得不了分的情况下，我还在跑，为啥？你不跑，你会越来越紧张，被别人就拼的，就是拼的，你会从140斤拼到这个200斤，就越拼越重在场上。你们有没有这种感觉？所以正手不得分，也得动。
Oh my goodness, slugging it out, backhand to backhand on the diagonal.
It was like a speeded up warm-up, wasn't it, really? Fabulous.
But it's interesting, mind you, it was going that quick, but interesting that Zhang Zika didn't run around the backhand to play his forehand, because he knows that the player on screen there is not afraid to go down the line. From the forehand side of the table again, we're seeing this by both players stepping across. Here he goes to play the backhand, straight down the line.
Such fast hands as well, and the speed with which they take the shot really as well. Down the line it goes, and no response really from Zhang.
First one's on the diagonal, second one's down the line, and it's not just blocked down the line, that's actually hit at pace down the line. Well, 4-2, Republic of Korea lead. Anybody expecting a 3-0 straightforward victory for China?
I think you were.
I would have backed 3-0.
Well, and also when Zhang was service as normal, but there's something about Zhang, isn't there? He's fearless, if nothing else. I think most people would have predicted that. That's the beauty of the sport, though.
Slowed the game down there. Jung Young-sik blocked a little bit softer. He's varying the pace.
It was almost as if Zhang played the same game that Zhang was playing to him. Very quick hands. Dealt well with the net cord as well.
Oh, that's great play by Zhang Zika. The long, fast serve from Jung Young-sik was very clever tactically. There he goes. Perhaps not quite deep enough, but nevertheless, good variation.
They were both playing from very wide, weren't they? And almost the first athlete to get something down the line was going to win the point.
So important to get in with the first strong topspin if you can. Don't guarantee you win the point, but it certainly increases the odds that you can. Has a good topspin deep into the backhand of Jung Young-sik. The gentleman clapping there is Jean-Jacques, but every game was 3-1. They dropped a game in all 3 of the matches. So dropping matches we've seen, but we haven't seen them drop. Sorry, dropping games we've seen. We haven't seen them drop a match. So
diminishes the chance of a comeback.
So there you go, 7 points each.
Body language is not great, is it?
For him, that was a fairly straightforward topspin. A player of his ability. He's disappointed to miss that topspin. So he knows now he's in a tough situation.
But it's a mark of a good player, isn't it? That you can keep calm and come back. We'll see whether he can do that here.
Clever play there, Jean-Jacques. That last topspin, he just brushed the ball a little bit.
And he turned defence into attack.
Oh, held his ground, anticipated where the topspin, and then the counter topspin. Just a slight lean. Look at that.
It's like 2 boxers going toe to toe, isn't it?
We really are at the business end now, and it's Jung Young-sik with a 9-8 lead. A very interesting point here.
Out of jail there, isn't he? And back to 9-9, and with the 2 serves.
Slight advantage for Jean-Jacques.
Well, Korean with a chance to make it 2 games to nothing, and against the form looks, against expectations, he's playing a blinder.
Rock solid Jean-Jacques there. That backhand topspin down the middle. Jung Young-sik not sure whether to play backhand or forehand, played a sort of half compromised backhand off the end of the table.
Stayed at the table, didn't he, the Chinese athlete? Wasn't going anywhere.
That would have been a mini crisis for China had they gone 2-0 down in this first match. Not a major crisis yet, but certainly a little mini one.
It would be a huge shock, wouldn't it, if China only made it to the bronze medal match.
Again, second game point for Jung Young-sik. 12. He is number 12 in the world. Has been as high as 10.
Well, it's only a couple of months ago, wasn't it? So it's a very... It's a very interesting time to call that timeout. Let's see if it bears fruit.
Backhand from Jean-Jacques. Often coaches call timeout when their player has the service. That wasn't the case then for the Republic of Korea. And so, as you say,
from Jung Young-sik. Chang absolutely no doubt about pouncing on it.
Yeah, sends him the wrong way as well.
For the first time, a game point for China. I still am a little bit surprised by that timeout. Everything's changed since then, hasn't it?
There it is. Jean-Jacques wins the second game. 13-11. It's now 1 game each. Jung Young-sik playing really well, but I think the talking point there was the point that you made about the timeout.
It just seemed the wrong. I mean, I'm no expert. Obviously, the coach is better experienced, but he was going well, wasn't he?
I think what must have been going through the coach's mind, he identified that point as arguably pivotal in the outcome of this. backspin on the service, holds the racket very loose. Zhang Zhika, that allows more wrist action, very little spin on.
Hesitated a bit, didn't he, Zhang? Thought about coming round on the forehand. By the time he made his mind up, it seemed to be a bit too late. Certainly gets himself worked up, doesn't he? Zhang Sik.
That is going at some pace, both of these.
Just how fast that table tennis ball is moving. Of course, the technology of the ball has improved over the years.
That's tremendous retrieving by Zhang Zhika, playing strong forehand topspins, but there he is, just returning the ball. Look how deep that was. That was the key to it. It almost bounced on the white line. Just over hitting a few of the backhands, not quite getting his racket over the topspin.
He was so crisp earlier on, wasn't he? Just
This time it's Zhang Zhika who doesn't get his racket sufficiently over the ball. The topspin bites into the rubber and lifts out of the rubber. You've got to get your bat.
well, we've seen that a few times in this match already. Just manoeuvring Zhang and then delivering the coup de grace. It was beautifully placed.
Zhang Zhika takes a gamble. He runs round blind. He doesn't know where the ball's going. He's gambling that he's going to come on the diagonal, commits himself, and then of course
he's also backing himself to make the shot, isn't he? And if it's not quite there, then you're in a spot of bother. There's nothing wrong with backing yourself to hit the winner, is there?
good tight serve. That's why we're seeing so many let serves as well. The players are determined to keep the ball very low over the net. So,
millimetre more than they have to of that net.
a great flick, top of the bounce out wide to Zhang Zhika's forehand. Personal coach there sat at the back, Kai Zhenhua, sat next to him, the former Chinese captain who now is very high up in the Chinese sports world, maybe even chef de mission of the Chinese team, the whole Chinese delegation here. Certainly he was deputy in London.
And the gold medalist warming up in the shadows. It's Ma Long, of course, and that was long from Zhang.
He came across, returned with the backhand from the forehand side, the new technique that's being developed, but leave yourself exposed then on the backhand side. And that's exactly what Jung Young-sik did, got out wide to the backhand. Oh, great counter topspin at the moment, it's one-way traffic.
And Zhang, of course, on the left-hand side of the table as he looks at it, and all of a sudden, unbalanced, trying to get around to the other side. Not quite the kind of manoeuvring you see on a tennis court, but it's a similar principle.
He was a little bit too far away from the table then to play the quick one down the line. He's about a metre away from the table. He tries to play down the line, he put the opponent under more pressure.
Dear me, had no right to win that point from where he was, and it was such a high quality backhand. All sorts of bother, and look at that, just all sorts of bother, and look at that, just ripped it. Us mere mortals can just sit and marvel.
More difficult to get power on the backhand side. A bit harder to get your body action into it, but Zhang Jika there was a tremendously powerful backhand. And now Jung Young-sik just misses the forehand topspin down the line. Game apiece.
We were discussing before, we thought it might be all one-way traffic, and this game certainly hasn't been.
But I think, in fairness, the gentleman on screen there, Liu Guoliang, is very clever when it comes to the order of play and getting the order. But if I had to pick one game, as I said at the beginning, player plays in the doubles, you make the decision who plays in the doubles literally after the first two singles.
So you're almost double guessing.
Exactly. Zhang Jika 9-8 in the lead. We were talking about mental toughness before. This is where it comes in. But in fairness, Jung Young-sik has held it together really well. He's a tough competitor.
It's the only time that Zhang had been ahead, and that is, as you say, quite the feat of mental toughness for Jung, who was 4 points ahead in this game, to bring it back to level par.
Oh, what a backhand!
Not much of a reaction from the Korean bench, was there?
I thought, had we seen it right there? It's a tremendous backhand from Jung, right down the middle of the table. Just look at that.
Yeah, just a little fist bump from the coach.
It caught the top of the net. Therefore, the South Koreans didn't want to be applauding a point that was won on a net cord. It's great sportsmanship. Tendency would be to jump out of your chair, but they control their emotions well. And it's Jung Young-sik with game point.
Oh, yes, what a point. Full effort from Zhang, but Jung Young-sik was equal to everything that was thrown at him and finds the winner and pushes ahead in this match by 2-1.
The players now back to their corners.
但是第三局我扑完那一下以后，其实也没太有什么反应。对我那个是有点像针扎的那种感觉疼，就它随着时间的推移，它会感觉越来越疼，肯定有这种感觉。
3局10-9那个球，
对，他真打疯了，他那球打完以后都跳半米，他不知道什么时候会抽一下那种疼，所以到第4局中局的时候，我就感觉有的动作会比较疼，但也没办法呀，对吧？没办法，那只能扛，只能升顶。
Zhang Jika there holding his back.
I think he just pulled up there. Oh yes, he did. Now that's not good in the context of this match, but also if it has to go into the reverse singles, looking a bit anxious there. Let's have a look at what happened there. Base of the spine.
Oh, he's back at the table. So he fell over, of course, on the game point in the third game.
Now, we did mention that last year he had a fracture of the sacrum. That is the bone at the bottom of the spine. And that was more or less where he was feeling it there. Let's hope it's not that serious. It was a month out last year, in fact a year ago.
And you need 3 players. The rules say you can play with 2, but obviously you sacrifice 2 games. You're 2-0 down. And they have this sort of substitute type accreditation, and there is a system. So there are possibilities, but it may be too late to bring them in now at this stage.
Well, he's up in this game, so let's not panic too soon.
He seems fine, actually, in fairness, so fingers crossed that all is well.
Edge ahead, the Korean take this match 3-1. That would be a little bit of a surprise. Little hand of apology, but it was a great point. And you know, these two have absolutely gone for it without any fear or favour. Great recovery. And they probably would have done it again had it not been for that slight brush of the net.
Strong topspins
throughout this fourth game. Can he keep this up?
Caught the top edge of his racket. Jean-Jacques mistimed the forehand topspin. It's quite interesting when you're here at the Olympics and you look across all the different sports. We are seeing players who, in all the sports, athletes who are ranked.
Question of temperament, I guess, and just hitting it on the right day.
Oh, that's a really good backhand from Jung. Took it very early. See on the replay. Just look how the ball's still rising.
It's a great enthralling match. This. It's a long one as well. Towards 3/4 of an hour already. And past 3/4 of an hour. Oh, brilliant from Jean-Jacques. Just outgunning his Korean opponent. There's the forehand. Had to really get his body into position to make it. Get the top spin. Down the line it went. And 2-point advantage for Oh, he's missed the simpler shot. Well, what recovery work from Zhang. And what attack from Jung-Sik. He looks absolutely exhausted.
So timeout called by Liu Guliang. Again, he clearly senses this is a pivotal moment. It's not a momentum situation here. The momentum's 50-50. Have a chat with Jean-Jacques. Stress to him the importance of getting the tactics right. I suspect the tactics revolve around getting in with a strong topspin behind the serve, keeping Jung-Sik guessing where that first topspin is going to go. Second serve in the sequence of two coming up for Jung. He's taken it with a good backhand topspin on the diagonal. Got a lot more topspin on the ball than Jean-Jacques thought. Misses by some margin, the backhand. Yeah, the topspin biting into the rubber. Jean-Jacques pings off the end of the table. The former Olympic champion under the cosh. He's got two serves to come. Clever play from Zhang. He threw the ball up a fraction higher. Chinese delegation trying to lift Jean-Jacques.
Once again, a really tight game.
13-15, 13-11, 9-11. Oh, what a shame for Jean-Jacques. Oh, that's a very brave serve from Jung. Jean-Jacques was expecting a short serve, so was I. And then all of a sudden, the long, fast serve, but Jean-Jacques reacted quick. Jean-Jacques has his serves at the end of this game. This point will be a massive bonus for the former Olympic champion. Oh, and he's come across the forehand, played a wristy backhand topspin from the forehand side into the forehand of Jung-Sik. And that's 2 game points. Now he comes across there, not on the returner serve, it was on the the fourth shot of the rally he came across. And the backhand down the line from Jean-Jacques, clenches his fist, punch the air. He knows he's been in a battle. He's come through the fourth game, winning by 11 points to 8. And the players back to their corners before they come out for the fifth and final game.
Well, we're just a little bit shy of an hour, and we still don't know who's won the first of these matches. And I don't think you'll mind, because it's been...
就像我们打比赛一样，都知道我反手，其实我紧张的时候我还是运动，反手不行。我赢郑荣直是反手嘛，你再看看，反手只是配合小人的。
A little concerned about a potential back injury, but he seems absolutely fine, and he's going to serve at the start of the first game. Love all. Lose the first point. Went for it. Jeong-Young-sik, that's the right tactics. No good just keeping the ball on the table. Got to take a few chances. Just look, that net cord, a millimetre. Jean-Jacques is shouting out. He's really pumped up now. And I think the interesting point tactically is to know, even though you've lost the point, that tactically you've done the right thing. And that's the sign of a good player, not actually, I've won the point, therefore I must have played well, I lost the point, therefore I must have played bad. It's how you play the point, and all about percentages.
He's tried that shot the last 2 points and it hasn't worked.
Oh, what a point there. Look at the Chinese bench, Liu Guliang telling him to think, and that's exactly what he did there. Great angle from Jean-Jacques. The two extremes, out wide, both angles. Look at Liu Guliang. Well, a good start.
Yeah, they've been in a battle, haven't they, in this first match? And like you say, an excellent start so far in this fifth. Even better now.
Got to keep it together now. Jeong-Young-sik. Don't get overawed. 2 good serves here. Get in behind the serve. Take the game to Jean-Jacques. Don't start playing negative. Continue the positive way that he's been playing. Oh, that trickled over the net. Jean-Jacques sitting on the table. Big grin on his face. A wry grin on his face. Jeong-Young-sik apologising for his good fortune. Well, I don't think he's apologising, he's acknowledging his good fortune. I think secretly he'll take it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to acknowledge it, not necessarily apologise. Perhaps that would be slightly hypocritical, because he's delighted to win the point. But
do you know, if you could do that 11 times, you'd do it, wouldn't you? But yeah, it was a stroke of fortune. Crawled over the net.
And so, yeah, Jeong-Young-sik now back in the game. A little bit of good fortune. A good point there on the backhand side. Played a good angle out wide to Jean-Jacques' backhand. And we're now back with 1 point separating the 2 players. And it is 5-3. The players change ends. Jean-Jacques would have taken that at the beginning if you would have offered him a 5-3 lead at the halfway stage. Fascinating how back in China that Jean-Jacques has the biggest following of all the Chinese players. You know, the Twitter following, he's got over 3-4 million. He's a very popular character. Charismatic and enigmatic at the same time. Very difficult to predict what he's going to do.
Makes him more interesting, I guess.
Exactly.
Makes him more box office, certainly in China. This sport is something akin to a religion.
So the lead now down to 1 point. Jean-Jacques with the serve. Oh, that's a great placement. Out wide to Jeong-Young-sik's forehand. It's a great shot, this. And you could see there, it's the other way around there. Jung Young-sik was going to run around the backhand to play the forehand. And it's all level. Can he do it? Here's number one. Oh, what a return of serve.
That came out of the blue, but it was brilliant. That is so difficult to execute.
Sure, it's fit for purpose. Oh, and this time, a lot of wrist up the back of the ball. Went for spin rather than speed. Clever variation, top edge of Jung's bat. Watch this one. The wrist, the spin, it jumps as it bounces a little bit more, catches the leading edge of the bat. Oh, this time, a lot of power on the forehand topspin. It missed by the narrowest of margins there. Jung Young-sik just not quite getting over the ball. Just have a look at this again there. His racket is over it. It just goes off the end of the table. And all of a sudden, a 5-point lead. And China.
Oh, he's pumped up now.
You don't see that very often from a table tennis player. To the crowd.
I think he's been listening to the Korean contingent getting behind their man, and he just wants to let them know that he's in control, and we have match point here. And he's done it. He has done it. He was under such pressure. Jung Young-sik, the Korean, really giving Zhang Zika a thorough examination in what was a brilliant match that has lasted, about an hour. Quickest of the 5 games, just 9 minutes. But what a game that was, and you have to thank and admire Jung Young-sik, who gave as good as he got.
中国队啊，我说实话啊，乒乓球里面中国队赢在了哪2个方面？一个前3板，一个正手，就赢这2方面了。就是粗略去看啊，就是前3板的组合和组合以后的步伐，步伐就代表了正手，就这俩。
对的，第3局。
所以有的时候不敢发全力嘛。啊，还好啊，最后能够撑下来，我觉得还是挺为自己骄傲的那场比赛。
Sehuk who are up next as we enjoy the end of this first match, and it means an awful lot to China but also to Zhang Zika. And is hugely popular in his homeland and admired around the world.